game is selected in the menu and we press up, it will go to the exit entry. So now that's our two basic keyboard presses, but what about accepting a cancellation or a menu select entry? Those are the last two buttons we need to work on. So let's do the cancellation button first. Else if screenmanager.keyboard.quit. So if we press escape and it quits, we need to call screenmanager.isExiting and set that to true, because we are quitting the program. Now we need to update each individual menu entries, and to do that we're going to do for loop for inti is equal to 0 while I is less than menu entries.count and I++. Okay. So if I is equal to selection, which means our menu entry is the selected entry, we need to perform the following tasks. So if I is equal to selection and if not menu entries sub I dot active. So if it is selected and it's not active, we need to set active as true. Okay, so now if I does not equal to selection, and if menu entries sub I that active, so if in our current for loop, if I is not selected but our text is active, we need to set it as false. Sub I dot active is equal to false. And if we do that, we need to call the individual update. Sub I dot update. So now let's look at the output. Down, we keep on pressing down, up, down, up. Our program works like it should. So now I have a way to identify to the player which is selected. Play game, we press down, we select help. Help, we press down, we select exit. Exit, we press down, play game is selected. So now, we still have no way to accept input or actions. I press enter on play game, but nothing happens. So we need to add that to our menu screen. So below is exiting is equal to true. Add else if screenmanager.keyboard.menu selection. We need to have a switch statement inside here, and we need to switch the selection. So if our selection is set to 0, we are going to play game. Screen manager.gameState is equal to gameState.play. Oh, and we need a break. If our selection is set to 1, we are currently highlighted the text or the help. So we need to change mstate to MenuState.help, and we need a break. case 2, if our selection is exit, we need to set is exiting is equal to true. So screen manager.isExiting is equal to true. And we need to have a break here. So now if we press F5 and we press enter on any one of these, we get no information. Even if we press exit, we get no information or no cancellation of our window. So we need to add the quit line inside the update method of Screen Manager. I'm going to do that after keyboard.update. If it's already quitting, we do not need to update the keyboard. So above keyboard.update, let's add if is exiting this.game.exit. So now if we press enter on the exit, our program will quit. Now, before we go into the game screen, we need to fill up the help regions. So in order to do that, we need to update the MenuScreen's update method and modify the help region. And get rid of that comment. Else, remember we have a big if inside the main region. So if we have two menu states. If it's not one state, it has to be the other state. So we just do else. And inside that else, we need an if screen manager dot keyboard dot menu selection. Pressed enter during the menu. So we need to set menu state again is equal to menu state dot main. Now if not help contents sub 5 is the press backspace, and that will be the only text we will have highlighted, or the only text we'll be able to highlight. So that's why we say sub 5 instead of sub I in a for loop. So if it's not active, we need to set it as active, and we need to call the update. Okay, now what about the backspace? You remember in the help contents we said press backspace to go back to the main menu. So how do we add that? We can go to our keyboard and add the back property if you want, or you can just change it to press enter to go back to the main menu. I'll add a back property. Okay, so that we added the back property, we can go back to our menu screen, and if we accept the menu selection or we press the backspace key, we are going to set it back to main. So now if we press F5 and we go to the help area, we get a error. And it's because it's an argument out of range exception. And that's because I removed something from the text version. So